As you're ready, finding that comfortable supported chair, settling your hips down, separating the feet enough to feel really comfortable and supported, connecting through the whole of each foot. You might take the shoulders a little back and down, maybe bringing the eyes closed or letting them rest down in front of you. Just taking a moment to arrive physically in your space. Perhaps gently scanning down through the body, noticing any tightness and tension. And perhaps consciously allowing any of that tightness to just settle a little here. Bring that firm connection down through the sitting bones into the chair, the legs and the feet into the floor, down towards the earth underneath us. And starting to connect in now with our smooth, steady breath. Noticing the air coming and going through the nose or maybe the mouth. When you find the rhythm of that breath, we'll start with some small movements of the hands. So each breath in, just turning the palms gently upwards. Each breath out, turning the palms gently down. Taking a few rounds of breath like that. Perhaps notice the way this really simple, small gesture with the hands helps support our breathing. As we turn the palms up, can we draw in that air, that space in the lungs and the belly? As we breathe out, feeling that contact down into the legs, really encouraging us to soften and settle down towards the earth. Just taking a few rounds with your breath. Now make that movement a little bigger. So with one hand, inhale, just floating the hand up a little. Exhale, floating it back down to the leg. And then we'll take it to the other side. So inhale, rising up. Exhale down. Just taking that gentle flow with the breath, those movements going side to side. And if you can feel the gentle way the hand moves through the air. Again, that gentle rotation, change for the palm, helping to support our breathing here. And then we'll make those movements larger again. So taking that arm perhaps all the way up outside as high as it's comfortable for you. And again, that alternating side to side, taking your shoulder through some larger movements. You might also notice as you inhale and reach the arm all the way up, there's a bit of space in the side ribs here to draw that breath in. Let's take one more to each side in your own time. And then we'll bring the left hand up overhead, bringing the right hand maybe to the hip, maybe to the side of the chair. Finding a reach here with the left arm, reaching up tall, going vertically as far as we can with these fingertips first of all. Taking one more in-breath here. And then if you'd like to, with the out-breath, maybe exploring a little side bend over to the right. Taking the gaze wherever suits best for you, down, straight ahead, or maybe up. One more breath where you are. And then let's go inhale upright. Exhale down, coming over to the other side. So first of all, that reach up long with the right hand. Maybe the left hand comes to the hip or slides underneath you a little onto the chair. Do you want to stay reaching here with the fingertips, or with your next exhale, finding a little reach up to the left? With your breath, can you really feel into the space from this right hip, anchoring down firmly, to up the right waist, ribs, shoulder, arm, all the way up to the fingertips. Let's take one more smooth, steady breath. And then gently drawing upright and coming back down. We'll take a flowing twist from here. So sitting up tall, We're going to bring our right hand across to the left knee. Inhale, let's reach the left arm away behind, finding a little twist open. With our exhale, wrapping that left arm all the way around to touch the right shoulder, or as close to it as it's comfortable for you. So inhale, we open out wide, a little bit of a twist away to the left. Exhale, curling around to touch opposite shoulder. I'm just finding that rhythm. Inhale, opening, feeling that space across the shoulder, the chest, that twist through the spine. Let's take 2 more through with our breath. And then one more time, we're going to open this arm out. Take that back arm up towards the ear. Maybe you stay up tall with this little bit of a twist to the left. Maybe you want to tilt forwards, coming around towards the front left of your space. Sorry, the front right, towards your right knee. If that doesn't work, having the arm lifted, you're welcome to keep that hand on the hip or maybe hold on to the back of the chair. Settling with your breath in whatever version works for you here. And then let's draw ourselves back upright. We'll unwind that left arm. Left hand coming to the right knee. Then inhale, opening out to the right. Exhale, curling around, hand to opposite shoulder. Finding that rhythm with your breath. As the lungs fill, can we feel that twisting sensation? Let's take about 3 more rounds. And one more time, we'll open up. Turning the palm up, reaching up towards the ear and maybe a little bit of a tilt over and away towards the right knee. Sorry, towards the left knee. Again, using whatever variation with that top arm you need for 2 more breaths. Up and then down, around, resetting maybe with a roll of the shoulders. Sitting up tall, we'll find our cat and cow here. So bringing your back off the back of the chair, shuffling forwards if you need. Hands to kneecaps. Inhale, let's draw up tall. Exhale, curling away, drawing the chin in, tucking the tailbone under. Pulling the arms straight so you feel that nice stretch down the back of the body. And then on your next inhale, let's draw forwards, heart, belly reaching through, elbows tucking in beside the body. So exhale, curling back. Inhale, reaching forwards and through with the heart. Find that rhythm with your breath. And if you're quite comfortable with this movement, we've done it a few times in our chair classes. Maybe seeing if you can start each movement at the hips, a little tuck under, and then a roll over up the length of the spine. The same when we go the other way, tilting the hips first, and a bit of a roll through the rest of the spine. So make it a little bit more flowing and fluid if that feels okay for you. All right, let's take 1 more round through with our smooth, steady breath. And then coming to sit up tall through the spine again. Planting both feet firmly. We'll just step them in and out. So lifting up the left foot, taking out as far as it feels good for your hips. And then picking up to bring back in. And you can take a few steps around if you need. Or you can pick it up a little off the floor. Or if you want to engage the leg even more, let's lift up the knee as high as you comfortably can. So working wherever your body's at today. Just taking that side to side, 1 foot out and in, and then the other foot out and in. And that movement through the hips. You might feel in the sitting bones underneath your bottom. You might feel it in the outer or the inner legs as you step out and around. Still keeping it within that really comfortable range. Let's take one more to each side. This time, as we step them in, let's squeeze the legs together. So whether or not they're right the way together, or you want them a little bit apart with the thighs squeezing in, just feeling really anchored and firm together with the legs. Pressing both feet down, and we'll find our chair pose. So you can stay right where you are for your chair pose. If you feel like you'd like a little more here, maybe lean it, tilt forward so you can stand up a little and find that same shape, but with the support off the chair. And some nice length in the lower back here. So taking either of those versions, the hands could stay at the hips. They could reach around in front as if you're hugging a big tree. And a firm connection through the feet, particularly if you're in the chair. Smooth, steady breath. And if you can do it while maintaining that breath, maybe bring the arms up overhead, reaching long. Palms turn towards each other, or maybe round a little way behind you with the pinky fingers coming together. Just gives us a bit of space across the shoulder blades here. So any of those options with the arms, let's take 2 more breaths. Firm, strong connection of the legs down to the floor and squeezing together. And then let's relax and soften here. Standing up tall if you're off the chair. Maybe a little rumble of the heels, a jiggle of the legs. Let's just take a round or 2 of that stepping in and out. Or if you're standing, you might take a different version. Perhaps stepping the feet wide and just a big standing twist, the arms gently swirling side to side. This time we're going to set up for our chair pose with our feet about hip distance apart. You need to go a little wider or narrower, you can, of course. But that same principle, pressing down through the feet. And this time, can we imagine something in between the knees, that we're squeezing in towards each other, hopefully engaging the glutes here, hopefully feeling the thighs switch on when you squeeze into that imaginary space. And same thing from our standing chair pose. Let's squeeze in, but keep that separation of the knees. The whole of each foot firmly into the floor. Feeling that engagement here. Connecting in with that strength in the legs with your smooth, steady breath. And deciding where you'd like to go. Do you want the hands on the hips? Do you want them around in front? Or do you want them up overhead? Either way, just finding your smooth, steady breath. And then let's gently bring the arms down. Then we're going to step the feet wider. So if you're seated, let's take both feet out to a comfortable degree. Sitting up tall or tilting slightly to the front of the sitting bones. So rather than letting the tailbone roll under with our back leaning back, we stretch up tall through the spine and we feel the hips tilt forwards a little here. Strong through the legs. Standing is very similar. We take the legs wide, toes turn out to a comfortable degree, and we bend down. You can bend a little, you can bend a lot, really up to you where you want to take it. But again, like our chair pose, as we come down, can we keep some nice space in the lower back here, really anchoring through each foot. And so from our goddess pose, anchoring through both feet, I'm going to bring some arm flow in. So inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, coming back down. Finding that flow with the breath. If you're in this standing variation, you're welcome to add a straighten of the legs. So inhale, straightening the legs up. Exhale, bending back down. Making sure we keep that space in the lower back as we do. So finding that flow for you. Let's take 2 or 3 more rounds with our breath. One last time through from wherever you are. And then releasing the hands to the hips. Let's play with lifting the heels here. So still strong through the feet. Maybe you want to lift up one heel. This is the same whether you're standing or seated. Lifting up the other heel. Just exploring what it feels like. Where you need to feel the leg engage. Maybe you might try lifting both here. Pressing strongly through whatever's in contact. So from that standing version, same thing. We can lift one, we can lift the other, Maybe lift both. And then we have the option. So with our breath this time, if you're seated, inhale, we can lift the heels with the hands. Exhale, lower the hands and the heels together. Find that smooth, steady breath. And standing, you can do the same. So inhale, instead of driving up tall with the legs, inhale, we could lift the heels. Exhale, lower. Or you could try lifting the whole way through. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. This version is going to be a little more challenging, so take it to whatever you need, whatever version of this fits best for you. Let's take 2 more rounds of our smooth, steady breath and strong legs. And bringing the hands down, let's step the feet or waddle the feet back to center, readjusting the hips. And from here, we'll take 1 foot up, anywhere up to hip height. So it might be a little lower for you, you might just reach out in front on whatever angle works. And then lowering down, sliding back in. So we lift up the other leg, reaching out long, toes pulling back towards the knee. And then a slow lower down and draw back in. Take it out to whatever degree works for you. And that slow, steady reverse in. Let's take a couple more rounds, just feeling into that strength in the leg, that stretch in the back of the leg. Beautiful job. All right, so from here, let's turn it into a lunge. So we need to come around sideways on our chair. Let's spin around towards the right. We're going to start sliding the left leg back, finding our low lunge here, or a supported lunge, with the left knee, the left hip on the chair. Sorry, for you it'll be the right knee, the right hip. If you're standing, same thing. From our standing thing, we take 1 step back, keep the front knee over the ankle and bending a little into this back knee, feeling the stretch down here. So strong legs, whether we're standing or seated. We've got the right leg forwards, that left leg easing back. Can we connect down? Can we feel a stretch here? Now maybe you want to keep your hands down low, or you might like to draw the left arm with the left leg behind up tall. So we've got the left arm lifting, we're feeling that length all the way down the front of the body, through the front of the hips, the front of the thigh. Maybe holding on with this back hand as we reach up tall here. If this feels really good and you'd like a little side stretch, you could ease over away to the right. Just keeping with your smooth, steady breath. And let's bring ourselves back upright if you took that side bend. Inhale, we'll come to here. Exhale, we'll turn into an arrow. So we're going to sweep that arm around the back. If you've got room, you might lengthen that leg a little behind you. If you're in the chair, you're likely a little cramped for space, so you might keep it where it is. So inhale, we reach up. Exhale, tilting forward, strong through the back leg. I'll show you what the standing version looks like. Inhale, we're sweeping up. Exhale, leaning forwards, and you might lengthen this back leg here. Particularly if you're standing, you'll probably feel the left leg, the left glutes working, particularly as we lean forwards. Just explore those moving sensations here. What do you notice from one position to the other? Where can you feel that sensation gently change? And we'll come back up to center. We start finding our crescent lunge. Maybe you keep just with one arm lifting. Maybe you want to add the second arm in as well. And maybe if you're feeling really solid and stable here, a little bit of a lift of the heart. Maybe lifting the gaze just a little, making sure you can still breathe wherever you end up. And then from here, we'll take a little bit of a flow with our breath. So inhale, sweeping the arms open and back. Exhale, curling forward, sweeping forwards a little. Inhale to open. Exhale, curl in. If you think about this opening movement we often do with our cactus arms and we squeeze in towards the chest, it's really similar, but it's a bit more fluid. Strong through the base to give us this lovely flow through the upper body. If this is still feeling okay for you, let's take one more round. We'll come up tall, bring the hands down. Let's bring ourselves back up to stand or around to the front of your chair. Maybe a bit of a pitter-patter, a bit of a release of the legs. A smooth, steady breath. And then we'll come around to the other side. So turning around to the left this time. The left leg stays on the chair at the back. And the right leg just sliding back to whatever degree. Maybe it stops here, maybe it's here, maybe you do bring it back further. No right or wrong. Just find that best spot for you. And same thing, if you're wanting to take the standing version, we step back with the left leg. Bend into both knees, really anchoring down through the feet here. Just exploring what that looks like and feels like for you today. Picking that option that feels best in your body. Can we connect strongly through both feet? You're feeling that length in the front of the right thigh. And then from here, let's sweep the right arm up overhead. Can we feel that length through the arm, the shoulder, the chest, the front of the hip flexor here as we breathe smoothly and steadily. Let's take 2 more breaths in this version. Then let's float. Inhale brings us up to this position. Exhale, we tilt forward, sweeping that front arm behind. Inhale to draw the body upright, the arm overhead. Exhale, body leans forward any amount as that arm reaches away behind. If you're standing, maybe you want to play with straightening the back leg as you lean forwards. Let's take 1 more breath here. And we'll come back upright. You might like to bring the other arm up as well, maybe lifting the heart just a little. Making sure we still breathe smoothly. One more breath here. And then we can add that flow if you like. Inhale, drawing the arms back behind. Exhale, that curl in, sweeping the arms around. Making this movement whatever you need. We're aiming to bring a really lovely openness through the chest, the shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Really trying to counter a lot of our sitting movement. Let's take 1 more with our breath. And coming upright, let's bring ourselves around. Again, as the feet plant, can we pitter-patter here, a bit of a release. Coming back to sit if you are upright. And let's set the feet a little wide here. And just take the legs side to side. Both legs moving in the same direction. And then we'll go a little different. We'll bring both knees together and then both knees out. Just feeling those different rotations through the hips, through the thighs. Maybe bring the feet together if it's comfortable for you. You could bring the knees out, just letting them rest out to the side. We don't need to push them or force them. Maybe the hands are behind you for support. Maybe you feel comfortable with them on the hips. Again, seeing if we can tilt the hips forwards, so sitting on the front of the sitting bones rather than rocking back. Nice tall spine here. Smooth and steady here. And then let's take the left hand to the left thigh. As we slide the arm down the thigh, just taking the right arm up and over and sweeping around. And then we'll do the other side. So right hand goes to right thigh. As it slides down, can we reach up and over with the left arm and then around and down. Let's just do 1 more like that to each side. Slide into our side bend, over and down. And one last time, that big reach and stretch through the side body. And then coming down. And we'll set the feet back comfortably and finding your best place for relaxation. You're welcome to stay sitting either tall or with some support behind the head and the lower back. Or you're welcome to lie down, either lying down flat or bringing the backs of the calves up onto your chair for a little bit of elevation, a little bit of support for the lower back. And we'll stay for about 5 minutes, so taking your time to set up in whatever option feels right for you. I'll stay seated today, but you've got a few moments now to make those adjustments. And then from wherever you are, gently letting the hands rest comfortably. Allowing the eyes to soften or gently close. Just taking a big deep breath in here. Letting go with a sigh. Perhaps noticing any of the ways that your body can soften and settle here. Feeling perhaps that sense of weightedness in our body. Letting go of any tightness or tension. Noticing any ways that we can allow our mind, our thoughts to gently settle. As if they're those little white bits in a snow globe slowly floating down to rest gently in the background of our awareness. We don't need to get rid of those thoughts completely, they'll always be there. But we can allow ourselves to experience perhaps a sense of space, a sense of peace. Just a bit of a pause here in between all the noise. Allowing our body, our breath, our mind to settle into the stillness for just a few more moments. And slowly drawing our breath in a little deeper. Allowing our physical body to find some small movements, picking up on those little sensations again. And as you're ready, perhaps making some larger movements now, maybe a reach up overhead or a drawing of the knees into the chest if you're on your back. So become a little more aware of our surroundings, gently making your way to a comfortable seat, whether that's on the floor or your chair. I invite you to join me with your hands together in front of your heart once you arrive. Just taking a small bow here of gratitude. We can share this time and space together here today. We have the opportunity to explore this practice together. Knowing our true worth, our true value, exactly as we are right in this moment. Taking all of these benefits with us into the rest of our day. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for coming along. I'll see you again soon. Thank you.